Welcome to IGCSE on Point. Today, this is my first video on this YouTube channel, and I'll be mostly covering physics, math, and chemistry. But later on, I'm planning to do ICT and bio. A brief introduction about me. My name is Thiru. Just completed my IGCSEs in March 2022, and hopefully in this YouTube channel you'll be getting various past papers solved by me, and also you'll be getting a topical revision on various topics which students mostly find difficult. So I'm actually a student myself, but I did complete my IGCSE, so I do have the various knowledge in subjects such as English, French, physics, chemistry, and math. And yeah, that's a brief introduction about me. Sorry to bore you. And without further ado, let's get started with the video. So the first question says a company employed 300 workers when it started and now employs 852 workers. So calculate the percentage increase in the number of workers. So basically the question is asking there are 300 workers initially and now there are 852. So you have to calculate how much percent was it from 300 to 852. So there's a formula for this, which is final minus initial divided by initial multiplied by 100. So all you can do is 852 minus 3, sorry, you can write that better. 852 minus 300 divided by 300 multiplied by 100, which is equal to 184%. Okay, and if you want to check your work, all you can do is you can do 300 into 184 divided by 100 to calculate. So basically you're multiplying 300 by 184% to see if it equals to 852, and with the calculator it should equal 852. Okay, using the calculator. So of the 852 workers, the ratio part-time workers, full-time workers is 5 is to 7. Calculate the number of full-time workers. So combining part-time and full-time workers, there are 852 workers, okay? So what you need to do is first you add 5 plus 7, which is equal to 12. The reason you do this is because like part-time and full-time go in the category of 852 workers. So you need to first calculate the ratio multiple basically. So I'll just show you the steps. So 852, you divide that by 12, okay? Once you do 852 divided by 12, you get 71. And once you do 71, they said calculate the number of full-time workers. So the ratio of that is 7, right? So 7 out of 12, right? 7 out of 12 of workers are full-time. So you can do 71 into 7, right? Into 7, which is 497, or you can do 7 divided by total, like part divided by total into 852, which is equal to 497 as well. So in either way, you're getting the same answer. So next question is the company makes 40,600 headphones in 1 year. Write this number in words. Okay, so that's 40, sorry, 40,000 and sorry, 600. Sorry about my handwriting. In standard form, so in standard form, it's basically uh you have to write this number so that uh it has to be in a multiplied by 10 to the power of a number, and the number over here, right, it should be between. So if this is x, right, it should be 1 is to 10. Okay, so that number has to lie between 1 is to 10. So if you want to convert this to standard form, right, you cannot do 40.6 times 10 to the power 1, 2, 3. You cannot do this. The reason is because, as I said before, uh, it has to lie between 1 and 10. So that's why you have to take, you have to do 4.06 times 10 to the power 4. This is the answer because this number, this is the value of x, and this lies between 1 and 10. So this is why it's in standard form, okay? Moving on to question C. It's a D, sorry. In 1 month, the company sells, sorry, I'll just move this out of the way. Okay. It sells 3,000 headphones. Out of these, 48% are exported, 3 uh 3 upon 8 are sold to shops, and the rest are sold online. Calculate the number of headphones that are sold online. Okay. So basically they're saying 48% of 3,000, 3,000 into 48 divided by 100 is equal to 3,000 multiplied by 48 divided by 100, which is 1,440. Okay, these are exported. Okay, these are exported. And if you do 3,000 multiplied by 3 divided by 8, you should get 1,125, which are sold to shops. Now, so we calculate the value of exported and sold to shops. Now they said the rest are sold online, right? So what you can do is you can just subtract 3,000 minus 1,440 minus 1,125, and that should equal 435. So this is the value which is sold online because we calculate the value which is exported and which are sold to shops, and the remaining of the headphones are sold online. So that's why you subtract to find the remaining amount, which is 435. Okay. Okay. So sorry. Okay. So moving on to question E. So 1 year the sales increased by 15%. And the following year, the sales increased by 18%. So calculate the overall percentage increase in sales. So in this question, although it is a part of the previous question, this does not involve you to have any knowledge of the previous parts. So it's basically saying in 1 year, let's assume they made $100, okay? And then they're saying uh, that in that year, so let's say the previous year, they made $100. Okay, so the next year they made 15%, and then the next to next year, okay, it increased by 18%. Okay, so like from 100, okay, well, if you do 100 into 0.15 uh, plus 100, which is equal to 115, right? So that is going to $115, okay? And now from $115, that is increased by 18%. So you do 115 into 0.18, right? Plus 115, which is equal to, no. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, no, no. No, no, never mind. Never mind. This would be 135.7. Okay. So they're saying overall percentage increase in sales. So what is the percentage increase? Wait, let me just move this a bit. What is the, sorry about that. Okay. What is the percentage increase from 100 to 135? Okay. So what you do, as I told you in the first question, final minus initial divided by initial multiplied by 100, you do the same here. 135.7 minus 100 divided by 100 into 100. So that would be 135.7 minus 100 divided by 100. Okay, so it's going to be 35.7%. Okay, so this is the percentage increase from 100 to 135. It's fine if you take any other value and then do the same steps, like increase by 15 and then increase by 18%. But then the reason I took 100 is because percentage is given by 100, right? So then it's a bit easier to do the work. So yeah. So 2a, the table shows some values for y is equal to x squared minus 3x. X is not equal to 0. The y values are rounded to one decimal place. Complete the table. So then just substitute the value of x. So for this one, it will be negative 0.75 squared minus 1 upon 3, negative 0.75, right? So negative 0.75 squared, sorry, negative 0.75 squared minus 1 divided by 3 into points negative 75, just, and round to one decimal place. Okay, so I'm getting 1.0. And I got 1.0069, but it says one decimal place, right? So you round it to 1.0. You cannot write 1, you have to do it 1.0, okay? And for the next one, this would be zero point 0.9. Okay, you guys should do the math, and I think you should get the answer. So complete the table, and on the grid, draw the graph of x squared minus 1 upon 3x minus, okay, so just plot all these values and then you have to do it. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, so here you go. I've drawn the graph, and if you're doing this paper with me and if you're plotting the graph, it should look something like this. Okay. So the next question asks for, by drawing a suitable line on the grid, solve the equation x squared minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so these questions come up often in in graphs. So this is a highly important question. Important. Like you should note this down because this comes almost every paper, uh, and here's the way to solve it. So as you know, they've said that y is equal to x squared minus 1 upon 3x, okay? And as you can see, x squared minus 1 upon 3x is written over here as well. But there's also a 1. So what you can do is you can take the 1 to the other side to isolate this x squared minus 1 upon 3x so that you can say this you know is equal to y, right? So if you take the 1 to the other side, okay, it will be x squared minus 1 upon 3x is equal to minus 1, right? Because you subtract 1 from both sides and then you'll get minus 1 on the other side. And you know x squared minus 1 upon 3x as given over here is equal to y. So what you can do is you can write this as y is equal to minus 1 because that's the same thing, right? Same. And now what they're saying is by drawing a suitable line on the grid, solve the equation. So what you do is you plot this line, okay? So not minus 1, negative 1, right? So you take this and there. Now, when they say solve the equation, that means you have to look where it intersects. So if you look at the graph, it says it intersects about here, which is point point 0.3. Yep, point 0.3. So the answer to this is x is equal to point 0.3 because as you can see here it says find the value of x of this intersection, which is point 0.3. So that's what happens whenever they say solve the equation, and if they ask us to find like the point where it intersects, they usually ask for the value of x, okay? So on to the next question. It says, so this is a functions question. So here, so this is so fx is equal to 1 plus 4x and g of x is x squared. Now they're saying g of f of 3. So this is composite functions, okay? And in composite functions, what you do is first you do f to the 3. So you substitute x for 3. So it will be 1 plus 4, 3, right? Which is equal to 3 into 4. So that should equal 13, right? But you're not done. Once you find which, so wait, I'll just do it over here. 1 plus 4, 3, so which is equal to 13. Next, what you do is you're not done yet. You still have the g remaining, right? So what you do with the g is like now you got the answer is 13, right? So you have to find g of 13, okay? And so you substitute the value of x as 13, so it'll be 13 squared, which is 169. Yep. So the answer to g f of 3 is 169, okay? Next, this is the same question, but they said uh like it's x. Okay, okay. So I'll just explain it. So g of x is x squared, right? So we figured out g of x is equal to x squared. So now we do the same thing as we did in this question. We take f x squared. Sorry, hold on. So that should equal to 1 plus 4 x squared, okay, because you substitute the this. So whenever there's like something inside the function, like whenever there's something inside the parentheses, that means you're substituting that for x. Make sure you note that. I'll just write it over here for your purposes. If number is inside the bracket, substitute that for x, okay. So that's a point to note. So the answer to this is 1 plus 4x squared. Okay. So next question is f of inverse of f of x. So a point to note over here is both are f, right? And whenever you have a function and you inverse that thing, you get the same answer as what's inside the variable. Okay, so the answer to this is x. So I'll give you another example. If it was f inverse of f of 3, then the answer would be 3. I'll show you how, because f of 3 in this case is 1 plus 4 into 3, which is 13. Now if you do f of inverse of 13, first you need to find the f inverse of this. So this would be um, minus 1, so it should be, so 13 minus 1 divided by 4. Okay, this is my mental calculation, so make sure you write the step whenever you do the inverse. So the answer to this is 3, right? So you're getting the same answer as what you did in the beginning. So just note that the inverse, like if you have two functions which are the same and one is the inverse of the other, is the same value as what's inside the parentheses. Okay, on to the next question. Now find the value of x when f of x is 15. Now, last time the x or any number was inside the parentheses, okay? But this time the number is saying it's equal to 15, which means you do not substitute the value of you do not substitute 15 in this 1 plus 4 of 4x. Instead, you write 1 plus, so okay, I'll tell you why. Because f of x is equal to 1 plus 4x, right? So you just write 1 plus 4x is equal to 15, right? Because this is equal to f of x. And now you just solve, so it's 4x, which is equal to 14, and x is equal to 3.5. Yep, very straightforward. Next question, 4a, in triangle ABC, AB is equal to 45 centimeters, AC is equal to 29.5 centimeters, and BC is equal to 35.3 centimeters, and angle CAB is 51.6 degrees. Calculate angle ABC. Okay, so in this, you have from this figure, you realize there's one angle, okay, So the two adjacent sides are given, and the opposite side is also given. And we want to know ABC. Okay, so let's just name this as x. Uh, and so as you know, in cosine rule, you need to have one angle, both the adjacent sides and the opposite side. And it's usually to figure out the opposite side, right? Like the angle is over here and you have to figure out BC. That's cosine rule. But then in sine rule, it's used to find uh any angle, but you have to make sure all sides, like the dimensions are given. So in this case, it will be, okay, so it's written as sine A upon A, which is equal to sine B upon B, which is equal to sine C upon C. So in this case, if this is A, then this would be, if this is like angle A, right? Then this would be side A because it's opposite to it. And if this is B, then this would be side B. Okay? So it just works like that. This is like the formula. And now if you want to calculate ABC, what you can do is, I'll just substitute this for x. So you do sine 51.6 divided by 35.3, which is equal to sine of x divided by 29.5. So if I arrange this to make x the subject, it will be 29.5 multiplied by sine 51.6 divided by 35.3, and you take sine, I'll just make this a bit small, yeah, and I take sine inverse of this entire thing, okay, easy. So x is equal to 20. So the answer I'm getting is 40.9 degrees. And make sure all angles are given in one decimal place. Regardless whether it's three significant figures or not, you have to make sure there's one decimal place. 40.9 degrees. Okay. So next question says calculate the area of triangle ABC. So to figure out the area of a non 90-degree triangle, you have to do half into A into B into sine C. C is the angle and AB are the adjacent sides to that angle. So as we know, there's an angle given here, and there are two, and both the adjacent sides we have given the value for it. So we can use this angle. So if we apply the values, half into 29.5 into 45 into sine 51.6, this should equal to, um, just a sec, sine 51.6, and this should equal to 520.177 centimeters squared. If you round that off to three significant figures, you should get 520 centimeters squared. Okay. Okay, so the next question says the diagram shows a quadrilateral PQRNS formed from two triangles PQS and QRS. Triangles PQ and S is isosceles, with PQ is equal to PS, and angle SPQ is 56 degrees, and QR is 47 centimeters, and angle SQR is 60 degrees. Calculate SR. Okay, so the first thing which you should understand, like when you read the question, is that these both are isosceles. So that means QSP QSP, and PQS. They both are the same, so we'll give that as x. So it'll be 2x plus 56 is equal to 180, 2x which is equal to 124, x, which is equal to 62 degrees. Okay, so once you get that, you can use sine rule to figure out QS. So you can do sine 62 divided by 32 is equal to sine 56 divided by SQ. And once doing that, you should get XQ is equal to sine 56 30 30.0544618,002 0.002 centimeters. And after that, 30 point. So okay, so we figured out this is 30 approx. And now you do cosine rule, so cos 60, which is equal to um 47 squared plus 30.04618. I'll just write this as 8. I'll just write this as 8 centimeters because it's not going to make a huge difference. So 8 centimeters minus SR squared divided by 2 into 47 into 30.04618. So 1 second, multiplied by cos 60, and you take, so then SR squared, which is equal to 47. So I'm just gonna do the simplified, like I'll write the final answer after doing all the calculation. 1 second. This should be 1699.5976664 SR, which is equal to 41.2 centimeters. Calculate. Okay, so now the next question says calculate the shortest distance from P to SQ. So this is getting like that basically. So whenever it says shortest distance, okay, so when it says shortest distance, that means this P should go past this P, right? Should go past SQ like that, and and it is perpendicular to this line, okay? So that's that. And now we know the angle for this is 62 degrees, right? And we know this is 32, and we need to find the value of this, okay? So what we do is we can use the ratios. In this case, it will be the sine ratio because we have given the opposite, and we're given the hypotenuse, and so we can use sine 62, which is equal to x divided by 32. So x is equal to 32 multiplied by sine 62, which is equal to 28.3 centimeters. Okay, now the table shows information about the mass and grams for each of the 120 letters. Calculate an estimate of the mean mass. Okay, so so the mean mass is given by summation of fx divided by summation of f. Okay, so this is the formula. And so what you need to do is this is x, okay? This is x, but there are intervals. So what you need to do, you need to find the median. So you do 50 plus 0 divided by 2, which is 25. 100 plus 50 divided by 2 is 75. Then this is 150. And this is 350. So what you do 225 into 43 plus 75 into 31 plus 150 into 25 plus 350 multiplied by 21, and you add the summation of f is 43 plus 31 plus 25 plus 21. Sorry, yeah, then that should equal to 120. And so 25 to 43 plus 75 multiplied by 31 plus 150 multiplied by 25 plus 350 multiplied by 21 is equal to 14,500 divided by 120. And if you divide this by 120, you get 120.8 grams, which is equal to 121 grams. Okay, so this question is, now Iraj draws an histogram to show this information. He makes the height of the first bar 17.2 centimeters. Calculate the height of the remaining bars. Okay, so what you need to do in this question is you can calculate the frequency density, right? And uh, to calculate the frequency density, you just it is given by frequency divided by class width. So to do frequency divided by class width, okay? And class width is difference in x, okay? So if you do 43 divided by 50 minus 0, which is equal to 0.86. Now, 0.86 in this case, we need to figure out of what frequency density is equal to what height. So for example, now we know 0.86 frequency density is equal to 17.2 centimeters, right? But let's say we want to find what's the height for one frequency density. So you just do 17.2 divided by 0.86. It's like a ratio basically. So in this case, one frequency density, if the frequency density is 1, then that means the height is 20 centimeters. So we can apply this ratio to all these 50, 100, 100, 200, 200, 500. So for the first one, it is 31 divided by 100 minus 50, which is 50, and you multiply this by 20, right? So you do 31 divided by 50 multiplied by 20, and you get 12.4 centimeters. And for the next one, you can do 25 divided by 200 minus 100, which is 100, and you multiply it by 20, and you get 5. So this is 5 centimeters, but we'll write point 0 because we want to give it in like a standard notation basically. So everything, let it be one decimal place. Next one, it is 21 divided by 300, and you multiply this by 20, right? So you do 21 divided by 300 multiplied by 20, which is 1.4 centimeters. Now complete the cumulative frequency table. So uh it's 43. Okay, cumulative is basically you're adding one frequency to another. So now m is less than or equal to 50. So over here m is less than or equal greater than or equal to 40, which is 43, and m is less than or greater than 100. So right here there are 31 times where m is less than or equal to 100, but if m is less than or equal to 50, that also falls into the category of m is less than or equal to 100. Because let's say, for example, we have the number uh, 40 43. Okay, 43 falls under this category as well as this category. So that means we need to add up 31 plus 43, which is 74, because that's the total frequency of m, which is less than 100. So similarly, you add 71 plus 25, which is 96, and then you do 96 plus 21, which is 117. That's basically how it works. Okay, so here it says draw cumulative frequency diagram. I shall plot it and then uh I shall plot it and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I have plotted the graph over here, and just note that I accidentally made a mistake over here. 43 plus 31 is 74 and not 71, and because of that these two are also incorrect. So yeah. Okay, so moving on, you use the cumulative frequency diagram to find an estimate for the median. So we know the cumulative frequency, the maximum is 120. So you should find the median of that, and then you draw a line. Okay, so let's say 120 so median, right? So what you do, you take 120 and you multiply by 1 upon 2. Okay, and you get 60. So 60 is over here. So you draw a line until it intersects the curve. And then when it intersects the curve, draw a line which is vertical or parallel to the y-axis. And if you can see, the value is about 71 grams because it's in grams, right? So what we need to do whenever they ask these questions, we look at the y-axis, figure out what they're asking for, draw a line which passes through the curve, then the point where it intersects, you draw a line which is parallel to the y-axis and make sure it touches the x-axis. So now upper quartile, which is 3 upon 4. So whatever, so you do 120 multiplied by 3 divided by 4, which is equal to 90. And in this case, 90 is over here. So 90 should be approximately 150, okay? 150 grams. Now 48th percentile, 48 percentile is 40 divided by 100 multiplied by 120, which is equal to 48. So you look at 48 grams, which is over here, and you do that, and then you do um, some more here. So which is 55 approx 55 grams. Um, no, no. Yeah, sorry, 50, 60, 70, 80. Yep, it's 55. So now it says the number of letters with a mass where 250 is less than m is greater less than or equal to 400. So number of letters is basically the frequency, right? So what we can do, these are the two values of x, okay? So 250 is over here. So we take this line, and the value of y over here is 106, and for 400, it's approximately here. That would be um sorry 108, 110, 120. 116. So basically, you have to find the number of letters with the mass where 250 is 400. So when the mass is 250, that hit 106, and when it hit 400, it was 116. So you need to find the number of letters in this range. So that is 116 minus 106, which is equal to 10. Okay, so next, question 6. The interior angle of a regular polygon is 156 degrees. Calculate the number of sides in of this polygon. Okay, so the formula of calculating the number of sides is n minus 2 multiplied by 180. Okay, and it says the interior. Okay, there's an easier way. Okay, I'll show you both ways. Okay, so there are two ways. One is n minus 2 multiplied by 180, which is divided by n, which is equal to 156. uh what basically, this is one the angle of one side. So if this is like an octagon or something, sorry about that, and they're saying this angle is 156, and since it's regular, every angle is 156, right? So this would be 180 n minus 360 is equal to 156 n. Then you have 180 minus 156, which is 24n, which is equal to 360, and 360 divided by 24, which is equal to 15, which is equal to n. Okay, so we did get the answer, but there's an easier way. So this, let's say there's a shape, okay? It's like this. So you should know by now if the interior angle of any shape is equal to something. For example, now this is 156. You should know the exterior angle plus the interior angle. So interior plus exterior should equal to 180. So 180 minus 156 should equal to 24. So the exterior angle of this is 24 degrees, right? Now, if this is 24 degrees, what you need to do is now there's a formula which is very easy. So 360 divided by the number of sides should equal to the exterior angle, and in this case it's 24. So you just do n is equal to 360 minus divided by 24, and n is equal to 15. Simple. Okay, so now A, B, and C lie on a circle center O. Angle OBA is equal to 52 degrees. Calculate angle ACB. Okay, so the first thing you should know is OA and OB, they both are radius. So OA is equal to OB. Why? Because they both are radius. They said center O. When it says center, you should know that any line from the center to the circumference is the radius basically. So OA is equal to OB. So this is also, sorry, this is also 52 degrees. And because of that, AOB is equal to 180 minus 52 multiplied by 2. So 180 minus 104, which is 76. So AOB is equal to 76 degrees. Okay. Next, what you do is now, if you know, like when there's a circle and when uh so the angle in the same arc, okay, so this is arc AB, right? This is arc AB, and the angles which are like pointing at this arc are both equal. And you should know that if angles in the same arc are equal, they must touch the circumference. But in this case, as you can see, in arc AB, there are two angles, angle OC and angle CAB. ACB, sorry. But the thing is, this AOB is not touching the circumference. So what you can do is you can extend this line, right? And you know angle in the circumference is twice the angle at the center. So that means if this is 76, so then this is 76 divided by 2, which is equal to uh 38, right? So if this is 38, then ACB is also equal to 38 degrees because angles in the same arc are equal. Simple. Yep. Next question. P, Q, R, S, and T lie on a circle. WSR is a straight line. Wait, P, Q, R, S, and T lie on a circle. WSR is a straight line and angle WSP is equal to 112 degrees. Calculate angle PTR. Okay, so what you can do is first this should be 68, right? Because as I said, interior plus exterior should equal to 180 degrees. So 112 plus 68 is equal to 180. And PQR is equal to 112 because this is a cyclic quadrilateral. And in a cyclic quadrilateral, the opposite angles are supplementary. And supplementary means the opposite angles add up to 180 degrees. Now to calculate PTR, what you need to do is just 1 second. um you can do one thing. um yeah, okay, so so as you realized, this PSRQ, right? This is a cyclic quadrilateral because all corners are touching the circumference, which makes it a cyclic quadrilateral, and hence you can uh, you know that opposite angles are supplementary. Similarly, in this case, PTRQ, they are also that's also cyclic quadrilateral because all of the sides are touching each other. All of the sides are touching the circumference, and hence it's a cyclic quadrilateral. And because of that, PTR is equal to 112 plus PTR, which is equal to 180, and PTR is equal to 68. So 68 degrees is the answer. Okay, so now G, K, and M lie on a circle center O. F, G, wait, G, K, GKM lie on a circle center O. FGH is a tangent to the circle at G, and MG is parallel to OH. Show that the triangle GKM is mathematically similar to triangle OHG. Give a geometrical reason for each statement you make. Okay, so if it's mathematically similar, you can first say that this angle and this angle are equal because in alternate angles, these two sides are parallel. This makes Z, right? And hence it's parallel to each other. Next, next what you can do is um, angle GMK is 90 degrees because uh, diameter subtends at 90 degrees. So that means whenever there's a diameter, okay, let's say this is a circle and this is the diameter, and whenever this line touches the circumference anywhere, this is 90 degrees, and hence this is 90 degrees, and you should realize that this is also 90 degrees, right? Okay, lastly, you should know that if both angles in a triangle are equal to each other, then the third angle must also equal because angle in a triangle is 180 degrees, right? So then this is also equal. So by proving that all angles are same, all angles are the angles in both triangle GKM and OGH are equal, hence indicates that they are similar to each other. Okay, so first point is angle HOG is equal to angle OGM because alternate angles are equal. See, it should be brief. IGCSE doesn't expect you to come out with many paragraphs of explanation. You just need one sentence explaining why this is the reason, and that's all. Next, you can say GMK is equal to angle OGH because diameter subtends at at 90 degrees and because radius is perpendicular to tangent. So this is the tangent and this is the diameter slash radius. Okay, radius is just OG and diameter is KG. Okay, so you can say radius is perpendicular to tangent or diameter is perpendicular to tangent, which making OGH 90 degrees, and KG, or you can say KG is perpendicular to FGH. Now, lastly, you can say GKM, angle GKM is equal to angle GHO because angle in a triangle add up to 180 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 180 degrees. Sorry about that. Okay. I mean, okay. So two triangular picture frames are mathematically similar. The areas of the frames were 350 centimeters squared and 1134 centimeters squared. The width of the smaller frame is 17.5 centimeters. Okay, so if you know in similarity, S1 upon S2 is equal to S1 upon S2 squared is equal to A1 upon A2. So that means the sides which are given, right? The side square them is equal the ratio. They're basically in a ratio, so you have to square the sides and they're in a ratio with the area. So in this case it will be 17.5 divided by x squared is equal to okay, so if this is a small frame, okay, so the small frame is 17.5 and 350, and the bigger one is 1134 and x. So this would be 350 and this would be 1134. So x squared is equal to 17.5 squared multiplied by 1134 divided by 350, which is equal to 992.25, and you take the root of that, which is equal to 31.5 centimeters. Also, don't show this type of working, this arrow. This can confuse the instructor slash examiner. So I'm just doing this for your better understanding. A picture in the small frame has length 15 centimeters and width 10.5 centimeters, both correct to the nearest 5 millimeters. Calculate the upper bound of this picture. Okay, so we know so we know the shape is rectangle. Okay, as given in the question. So area is equal to length into width. But they said both correct to the nearest 5 millimeters. So what you do, convert the 5 millimeters to centimeters. So we know 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So 5 millimeters should equal to point 5 millimeters should equal to 0.5 centimeters. Now what you do is whenever you use lower and upper bounds, you should always do this. First, divide the point 0.5, you divide it by 2, which is 0.25. Okay, now you're good with that. Next, what you do is you subtract the 15, you do plus 0.25. They said upper bound, okay, so you just do plus to everything, and it's a multiplication, right? So that's why you don't need, okay, Yeah. So you do 15 plus 0.25 and 10.5 plus 25, okay? If they said lower bound, then you subtract. But in this case, they only ask for upper bound. So you do 15.25 and 10.75. Then you just multiply these. 15.25 multiplied by 10.75 is equal to 163.9375, rounded off to 163.94 centimeters squared, because this was the exact answer. And although it's five significant figures, it was an exact answer, but centimeter squared cannot go up that far, so that's why you write 163.94. In a sale, the price of a large frame is reduced by 18%. Party pays $166.05 for large frames in the sale. Okay, so what you do is first calculate the price of one frame, which is equal to $33.21. Okay, and this is the discounted price. This is not the final price, this is actually the discounted price. So there's actually a trick to solving without remembering various formulas. You can use cross multiplication. Cross multiplication. So basically, we need to find, so there was actually an original. So original means 100% of the value. And this 33.21, this is actually 82% of the original. Like 100% is equal to x. And we know 100 minus 18 is 82. So 82% of the original price is 33.21. So to find the original value of x, you do 33.21 multiplied by 100 divided by 82, and you get the answer as $40.5. $40.5. I hope you understand. If you still have confusion in this, please leave a comment in the comment section below and just let me know. Thank you. So on to question D. Parthy advertises a large frame for a price of $57 or 48.2 euros. The exchange rate is 0.88 euros. Calculate the difference between these prices in dollars and cents, correct to the nearest cent. Okay, so nearest cent is $0.01. Okay, just noting that. And what you do, they said in dollars. So we know 57 is already in dollars, but this 48.20 is not. So we can do $1 is equal to 0.88. Then you have 48.20, which is equal to x. X is equal to, see, I always use cross multiplication because I find it very useful for me to think, and basically it helps me solve very difficult problems with formulas, but it's not really necessary unless you mastered your cross multiplication. So I highly recommend that you do this. Okay, so now 54.7727, this is the 48.2 euros in dollars, but since it says near cent, it's 54.77. Okay, so I rounded it. So I need to calculate the difference. So I do 57 minus 54.77, which is equal to $32.23. $32.23. Okay. Now next question. Darpin runs a distance of 12 kilometers, then cycles a distance of 26 kilometers. His running speed is 6x kilometers per hour, and his cycling speed is 10 kilometers per hour faster than his running speed. He takes a total time of 2 hours and 48 minutes. An expression for this time in hours Darpin takes to run is 12 in the 12 kilometers is 12 upon x. Sorry about that, Crow. And now it says write an equation in terms of x for the total time he takes in hours. Okay, so now we know speed. is equal to distance upon time. If we simplify this to make t the subject, you do distance divided by s, which is equal to t. So we know the speed of running when he runs, it's x, and his cycling speed is x plus 10 because it says it's 10 kilometers per hour faster than its running speed. So we calculated s, and we know the distance is 26. So you apply this in this formula, so you get 26 divided by 26 kilometers divided by his speed, which is x plus 10. Okay, so we know time of the when he runs is 12 divided by x, and you add that to 26 divided by x plus 10, right? And this should equal to 2 hours and 48 minutes, but we need to convert this to numbers. You cannot just write it as 2.48. This is not possible. So what you need to do, in your calculator there's this special function called circle colon. If you're using FX991MS or FX82MS, you can click on this and type in 2 square, 48 square, 0 square. This is hours, this is minutes, and this is seconds. So if I do that, my calculator, and then you click on, then you just convert that to decimal, which is, second, which is 2.8. Sorry about that. Yeah, 2.8 is the answer. Okay, so if you add these two times, it should equal 2.8, and that's how you get the answer. Okay, so now what you do is to show that this equation simplifies to 7x squared minus 25x minus 300. So you just have to rewrite the equation. So first let me make it into a single fraction. So plus 26x divided by x squared plus 10x, which is equal to 2.8. So 12x plus 120 plus 26x is equal to 2.8x squared plus 28x. So if you take everything to one side, you do 28 minus 26 minus 12, uh, uh, wait, 26 plus 12, which is equal to 38, 28 minus 38, which is equal to negative 10x minus 120. Now, if you realize this 7x squared minus 25x minus 300 is equal to 0, and this is not equal. But you can make it equal by multiplying it by a certain factor. So as you can see, if you do negative 25 divided by negative 10, you get 2.5. Similarly, if you do 7 divided by 2.8, you get 2.5. If you do negative 300 divided by negative 120, you also get 2.5. So what you can do is you can multiply this equation by 2.5 uh, to get that equation. And if you multiply 0 by 25, then in 2.5, you'll get the same answer. So you do 2. You'll get 0. So it's fine if multiply. So you have to multiply by both sides. So equals 0 into 2.5. So this should equal to 7x squared minus 25x minus 300, which is equal to 0, and that's what we got. So hence proven. Now you need to use the quadratic formula to solve 7x squared minus 25x minus 300. So the quadratic formula is minus b plus minus root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now, if you substitute values, this is a, this is b, this is c. So negative b, so negative 25 is b, so 25, so a is equal to 7, b is equal to negative 25, c is equal to negative 300, okay? So 25 squared, which is 625 minus 4 into 7 into negative 300. It's going to be minus 8,400 minus 300, right? Yeah. Okay, so then you divide this. Um, mm, okay, I'm just thinking because this would be a negative number, right? My 25 squared minus 4. Sorry, it's a plus because minus 4 into 7 into negative 300 and divide this by 2 into 7. Okay, so x is equal to 25 plus minus root of 625 minus 4 into 7 into negative 300, which is equal to positive 8400. So you add that to 625, which is 9025, and you divide this by 14. So x is equal to positive 9000 root of 9025, which is 95, plus 25 divided by 14, which is 8.57. And the other one is negative root of 25. So I take root of 9025, which is 95, but you take the negative of that. So minus 95 plus 25 divided by 14, which is equal to negative 5. So these are the two answers. Now, it says calculate the number of minutes Darpin takes to run the 12 kilometer. So, Darpin takes to run the 12 kilometer is 12 upon x, which is equal to the time. And as you know, x, which is the speed, cannot be negative. So that means the negative 5 can be cancelled and you just take 8.57. So you do 12 divided by 8.57, which should give us mm, so that will give us 1.4 minutes. No, sorry. This is the hours, okay? This is this is the numbers. So what you can do, you can just do 1.4 square 0 square 0 square, right? And that will give us 1 hour and 24 minutes. So that is equal to 60 plus 24, which is 84 minutes. Okay. Next, the volume of a paper cone of radius 2.4 centimeters is 95.4 centimeter cube. The paper is cut along the slant height from O to AB. The cone is open to form a sector OAB of a circle with center O. Calculate the sector angle X. Okay, so what you can do is you can first calculate the slant height. So okay, so for a cone, it is pi r, right? Pi RL is the slant height. And we know the radius is 2, no, just 1 second. Okay, first let's, volume of a cone with radius r and height is V 1 upon 3 pi r squared h. So, okay, so basically, we can calculate height by doing r squared plus h squared, and you take the root of that because as you can see, cone is basically a triangle with a circle, right? So if you can do this, this is the r, this is the height. So if you, this is like a triangle, as you can see, this, oh, like this, right? So if you can do h squared plus r squared to get OAB, you can get the slant height using that because Pythagoras theorem, right? So first we need to calculate the height for that. We have been given the volume, we have been given the radius, but we do not know the height. So what we can do is 95.4 is equal to 1 upon 3 multiplied by pi multiplied by 2.4 squared into h. So if you make h the subject, it will be 95.4 divided by um 95.4 divided by 1 upon 3 into pi into 2.4 squared. So h, which is equal to pi into 2.4 squared. So you have 95.4 divided by that, which is 15.816 centimeters. Okay, so now we got the height as well. Okay, So now we got the height, so we can calculate the slant height. Okay, once we calculate the slant height, what you basically you can say that this OA and this OB is equal to the slant height, because as you can see, once imagine you have a cone in your hand and you're slowly opening it. Okay, you're slowly unwrapping that thing, and then once you open it, you get like a shape like this. And from this starting point, it is going from that to one of the corners. Like from this starting point, it's going to this corner. And as you can see, that's actually the slant height of the cone. So with using the slant height, we can figure out OA, which basically acts like the radius in this case, because then we can find the angle using the arc length formula, right? And yeah, okay. So next, what you do is you do okay, so you can do 2.4 squared plus 15.816 squared is equal to L squared, but you can take the no, you can do that. So to this squared plus 2.4 squared, take the root of that, and L is equal to 15.9971 centimeters. Okay, so next what you can do is to calculate the thing. Okay, so you as you can see, AB is the circumference. AB is equal to the circumference, right? And AB in this case is the arc length. So first you have to find the circumference of the circle and then apply that as theta upon 360 multiplied by 2 pi r, and you'll get as the arc length, which is the circumference in the previous example, right? So if you calculate the uh, circumference, which is 2 into pi into 2.4, which is equal to 4.8 pi. Let's keep it in terms of pi. And now what you can do is, both of these are equal to 15.9971, 15.9971. So you can just do x divided by 360 into 2 pi r, 2 pi 15.9971 is equal to 2 into pi into is equal to 4.8 pi, right? To pi. Then you take the 2 into pi into 15.9971 to the other side, and you'll get the answer as zero point 0.5, and you just multiply that by 360 to get the value of x, and x is equal to 54.0 degrees, and that's the answer. Next, an empty fuel tank is filled using a cylindrical pipe with the diameter 8 centimeters. Fuel flows along this pipe at a rate of 2 meters per second. It takes 24 minutes to fill the tank. Calculate the capacity of the tank. So basically, there's a cylindrical tank. Okay. Sorry about that horrible drawing. So there's a cylindrical tank, and let's just make this bigger. So the diameter is 8, and it flows along this pipe at a rate of 2 meters per second. 2 meters per second. Okay? And the diameter is 8 centimeters per second. So this area as you can see, this area is constant everywhere, right? And they're saying fuel flows along this pipe at a rate of 2 meters per second. It takes 24 minutes to fill the tank. And uh, what you can do is basically you can figure out okay, so we know 2 meters are is equal to 1 second, right? But how much is 24 minutes equal to? Uh, so if 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds, so 24 into 60, so 1000. So they're asking, in 1040 seconds, it fills the entire tank. But what is the total distance basically? So if it fills like until here in 1 second, in 24 minutes, it will take the entire pipe to get filled, right? Okay, I'll just explain. So 2 into 1440, so 2080 meters will is flowed in that time frame. So basically the length, this basically 2 meters are covered in 1 second, and 2880 meters covers the entire tank. So that means the height of the cylinder is 2880 meters. So then what you do is you can first figure out the area. So as you know, volume is equal to area into height. We already figured out the height, which is 2880 meters. And to figure out the area, which we know is constant throughout, is the circle. So it can just be 2, pi r squared. So pi multiplied by 8 divided by 2, the whole squared. So 8 divided by 2 gives the radius, square that, and multiply by pi. So 16 pi is the answer. So 16 pi is the area. That is in centimeters squared. And this meter is 2880 meters, right? Let's just convert that to centimeters. So 2800 meters multiplied by 100 gives us 2800 centimeters. Add two more zeros. So now we know volume is equal to area into height, and we know the height, which is 288,000 centimeters. So we do V is equal to 16 pi into 288,000. So V, which is equal to 1447645 458.95. Okay, this is the volume in centimeter cubed. Now, if 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 1 milliliter, right? So if 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters, so then how much? So that means 1 liter is also equal to 1000 centimeter cubed, right? So in that case, we can take this, what we figured out. We can just divide this by 1000, to get the number of liters, which is 14,476 liters. And if you round that off, that will be 14,500 liters. So 14,500 liters is the answer. And now this is pretty simple, so I'll just go through this. So so let's just expand this, then we can involve this. So x squared minus 2x plus x minus 2 x plus 3. X squared minus 2x plus x minus 2. So x squared minus x minus 2 and x plus 3. So then you have x cubed plus 3x squared minus x squared minus 3x minus 2x minus 6. minus x squared minus 3x minus 2x minus 6. So that should be x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6. X cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6. Now, you have to make g the subject of this formula. Okay, so what you can do is first take this to the other side. Okay, mg minus mc is equal to 2fg. Okay, then let's take this here, right? Let's take this here and take this here, okay? Because I want g to be isolated in one side so that I can distribute so that the x can be g can be alone and everything else can be in one side. So mg minus 2fg is equal to mc, okay? Understood so far? Next, as you can see, g is common in both, so you can take g out and it will be m minus 2f is equal to mc, right? Next, since it's getting multiplied to each other, you have to divide both sides by m minus 2f. So it'll be mc divided by m minus 2f. So that's the value of g. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Here it says simplify 4x squared minus 16x divided by 6 squared minus 16. So as you can, okay, let's just simplify the numerator and then we can simplify the denominator, okay? So as you can see, x, so in 4x squared minus 16x, right? The x are like, and 4 and 16, 16 is a multiple of 4. So you can take the 4 out and you can take the x out, x minus 4. Okay, next, what you do, this is the simplest form of the numerator, so we just leave it like that. And now for the denominator, what you can do is, now I can sense that this can come as the a plus b and a minus b format, because if you guys know, x squared 16 is equal to 4 squared as well, so then you can write it like this, and it is x minus 4 and then x plus 4. So then once you write it out all together, it will be x minus 4 divided by x minus 4 and x plus 4. And as you can see, x minus 4 can get cancelled, so it will be 1 divided by x plus 4. And yeah, that's to that. Okay, so going on to probability. The probability that Shalini is late for school on any day is 1 divided by 6. Complete the tree diagram for Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so if late is 1 upon 6 on any day, so that means not late will be 5 divided by 6, because 1 minus 1 divided by 6 is 5 divided by 6. And it said for on any day it's 1 divided by 6. So for this also it can be 1 divided by 6, and here it can be 5 divided by 6. Here also 1 divided by 6 and 5 divided by 6. And yeah. Now it says calculate the probability that Shalini is late on Monday but is not late on Tuesday. So this calls for an outcome of late and not late. So basically you would have to multiply this and this. The reason you have to do that because it says these both are occurring at the same time. That means like if she's late on Monday, she should not be late on Tuesday. It's like one specific outcome. If they said uh she's late on Monday or late on Tuesday, then you can just do addition. But when they include the word and, it should be multiplication, and if it says or, it should be addition. Okay, so in this case, it will be 1 divided by 6 multiplied by 5 divided by 6, which is 5 divided by 36. Okay, so next question. The Venn diagram shows the number of students in a group of 50 students who wear glasses, G, who wear trainers T and who have a mobile phone M. Use set notation to describe the region that only contains one student. So as you can see, one is um, the only student, so that means it's out of every region, it's in the universal set. So what you can do, see, you know G union T union M. That means if you shade this, it will be everything inside. But we do not want that. We want the opposite of that. We want everything outside that region. So you put that in parentheses and put an apostrophe, which indicates it's the opposite. So G union T union M. And now it says find N T inverse uh, or G union M. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's do G union M first. So G union M is this, right? And then it says everything outside T, right? And it should be common to that. So I'll just draw this for you. If this is G, this is, sorry about that. And if the okay, so everything outside T has to be this and this, right? And you know G union N is this, right? The, this is G union M, and this is T inverse of T, right? So what you can do, you have to figure out which is common in them. You have to figure out regions which are common in them. So as you can see, this region is common, this region is also common, and this region is also common. These three are not common. They're not common because they appear in G union T, but they do not appear in T inverse. Hence, you can only consider the 0, 19, and 9, not the 2 and 14. So you do 19 plus 9 plus 0, uh, which is 28. And now it says one student is picked at random from the 50 students. Okay, let me just erase this working. And I'm planning to do a paper, I'm planning to do a topic on Venn diagrams sometime this week or next week because I feel like that's one of the main topics where students find mainly difficult in shading and writing in set notation. But don't worry, even I had problems with it, and I found a very easy solution to it, which I'm sure you'll be clear if uh, if you look at the video. So. Yeah. One student is picked at random from the 50 students. Find the probability that the student wears trainers but not wears glasses. So, uh, they wear trainers, right? But they do so they wear trainers, right? They wear trainers, but they do not wear glasses. So this is out and this is out because they're included in glasses. But they didn't mention anything about they didn't mention anything about mobile phones in this question, so we can assume that that can be included in this region, but we cannot include the 2 and 2 because that's part of glasses. Like those students are also wearing glasses. So that's why you do 14 plus 3, which is 17, which is the favorable outcome, and you divide that by the total outcome, which is 50. So I think that's the simplified version, 17 divided by 50, and yes, it is. Two students are picked at random from those wearing trainers, find the probability that both students have mobile phones. Okay. So now this time the total outcome is not 50. It is not 50. Let me tell you that. It is actually 14 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, which is equal to 21. The correct answer is 21. I'll tell you why. Because they said not out of the 50 students. They said from those people who are trainers. From the students who are wearing trainers, they're picking two students from that. So out of the people who are wearing trainers, they pick two students from that, and there's some favorable outcome to that. So find the probability that both students have mobile phones. So in this case, if 21 is the total, and they mention nothing about glasses, if they mention nothing about glasses, then it's fine if you include them. So in this case, this is a part of mobile phones, this is a part of mobile phones, and these are not. So it's 14 plus 2, which is 16. 16 divided by 21. But no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 16 divided by 21 is so so out of 21 people, 16 students fall under the category that they have mobile phones. But there are two students who are picked at random. So you do 16 divided by 21 multiplied by 15 minus 20. Now the reason you do this is because let's say you have a group of 5 people, okay, and you take one out, all is left is 4. So that means out of the total outcome, one is removed. You're not replacing it, and because of that, you do not. You have to subtract one from both sides. You have to subtract one from the denominator and the numerator because the number of students is less than before by one, and also the favorable outcome, it decreases by one because we already picked a student who fits in this category, and hence uh, you do this. So 16 divided by 21 multiplied by 15 divided by 20. So multiplied by 15 divided by 20. And that should get an answer of 4 divided by 7. Okay? Okay. So now it says solve the equation tan x is equal to 11.43 for 0 degrees is less than or equal to. Okay. So first we can figure out the value of x, which is tan inverse 11.43, which is equal to tan inverse 11.43, which is 84.99 degrees. Now what you can do is there are a certain formulas that you would have to follow. So one is that you can do 84.99 and you add that to 180, okay? Which is, I'll tell you why. 264.99, and I'll tell you why. So basically, these questions come up often, and there are certain rules that you need to remember. So if they say sine, you need to do sine theta is equal to sine 180 minus theta, okay? And if it's at cos, it would be cos theta is equal to cos 360 minus theta. And if it's tan, it's sorry, tan theta is equal to tan 180 plus theta. And for this, for cos, if it is negative cos, you can do negative cos 180. um I think it was minus theta. Yeah, sorry, minus theta. Okay. And yeah, so in this case it is 264.99 and it is 84.99. Or if you can round it, it will be 265.0. 265.0 because 1 degree, remember? And this would be 85.0. Now it says sketch the curve x cubed minus 4x. So there are certain factors that you need to look at when they say sketch. Although yes, this is not necessary, but I do advise you to do it. Is uh, first figure out the y-intercept and x-intercept. Okay, so if I find the y-intercept, I need to make x is equal to 0. So I should get 0 cubed minus 4 0, which is equal y is equal to 0. So that means y-intercept is 0 0. Okay, So x-intercept, it should be 0, which is equal to x cubed minus 4x, 0, which is equal to x squared minus 4. Now if I make the, one thing is I need to make, so if, now we already know, if I make, okay, so there are two values, so 0, x squared minus 4, so that will automatically make it 0, so this is correct. And if I do, now if I take the x to the other side, it will be 0 is equal to x squared minus 4, right? So if I take 4 to the other side, which is equal to x squared, then this will be plus minus 4, which is equal to x. So there are three values for the x-intercept, which is minus 4, 0, 4, 0, and 0, 0, which was already mentioned there. So basically the origin. Now let's assume this is 0, 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I know this is a rough drawing, but I advise you to take out a scale and make your scales. Although, yes, it is very time consuming, but I did the same in my exam and I was pretty confident with how it looked like. So, if you would do the same, I'm sure you would get an A star. Okay, so the x-intercept and you got the y-intercept. Now, to figure out the turning point, you do differentiation. So it'll be dy divided by dx, which is equal to 3x squared minus 4, right? Because you do 3 into x, 3 minus 1, minus 1 into 4, x, 1 minus 1, right? Which is equal to 3x squared minus 4. Okay, so I'll just erase all this. 3x squared minus 4. Now, to figure out the turning point, you have to substitute 0 for 3x squared minus 4. 4 divided by 3 is equal to x squared. I'm doing quick math here, okay? 4 divided by 3, which is equal to x plus minus. So this would be 4. So it'll be 2 divided by root of 3. Or you can do root of 4 divided by root of 3. And you'll get the same answer. So it's 1.15 and minus 1.15. And to figure out the value of y, you have to substitute that in the equation. So once you do that, you substitute the value of x in this main equation, and yeah, I'm getting minus 3.06, and for the negative 1.15, um, just a second. That will be 3 minus into 1.15. 3.06. Okay, so we got the x-intercept, we got the y-intercept. Now we just plot. So minus 4, 0, which is over here. Origin, 4, 0. Now, the two turning points are 1.15 and minus 3.06. So if I round it, that will be 1 minus 3 and 1. Wait, let me just 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this will be 1, 3, 1, wait, 1, no, 1, negative 3, and negative 1, positive 3. Go through this. and you just extend it, even though it's not mentioned in the coordinate. But yes, yes, I do agree. It's not looking very good, especially this point, but is the reason is because I haven't scaled it properly. But yes, it should look something reasonable like this. I have in my main exam I did it with scales and all. I've taken like a good 15 minutes out just for this question. So yeah. Okay, so last question, and most of my classmates told like found this very hard, and even in uh I've spoken to other like my other friends, and they found it a bit hard. So I'll just go through this. So a curve has an equation: y is equal to x cubed plus ax plus b. The stationary points of the curves have coordinates 2k and -10, 10 minus k. Work out the value of a, the value of b, and the value of k. Okay, so what you can do is, okay, so on to the last question. So a curve has an equation: y is equal to x cubed plus ax plus b. The stationary points, which means turning points of the curve have coordinates 2k and -2, 10 minus k. Work out the value of a, value of b, and value of k. Okay. So one hint they're giving us over here is that we have to use differentiation because they have mentioned the word stationary points. So in that case, we have to use that means turning point, right? So in a graph, right? I'll just explain. In a graph, when there's a turning point, the gradient of the line is zero because differentiation is used to find that. Because if you draw a line over the curve over the point, then that means it's a horizontal line, right? Which indicates that the gradient is zero, and hence that's why it's called stationary point. But yeah, so if we figure out the differentiation of this dy upon dx, it is 3x squared plus a, because 3x 3 minus 1 plus 1 into a, x 1 minus 1, and hence it is 3x squared plus a, and anyways b will get cancelled because it's a constant. Okay, so let's apply both the values 2k and -2 10 minus k. Okay, so if we do that, it is 0, which is equal to 3 into 2 squared, no, sorry, yeah, sorry, 3 into 2 squared plus a, and 0 is then equal to 2 squared, which is 4. 4 into 3 is 12. 12 plus a. So a is equal to -12. Okay, we figured that out, which is good. So next, we can apply 0. Then just a second. Then okay, so mm, and then what we can do is to figure out the value of b, we can substitute. We can do one thing. So now we know y is equal to x cubed plus ax plus b, right? And we know a is -12. So we can write y is equal to x cubed minus 12x plus b. Okay. And what we can do is substitute this here and over here. Okay. We substitute both coordinates here. So it will be k, which is equal to 2 cubed, which is 8, minus 12 into 2, which is minus 24, plus b, which is equal to k is equal to 8 minus 24, which is -16, plus b. And if we substitute the other one, it is 10 minus k is equal to -2 cubed, which is -8, and a is -12. So you do -12 multiplied by -2, which is +24, and you add that to b. So 10 minus k, which is equal to 24 minus 8, which is 16 plus b. So if you isolate that, okay, if you isolate the okay. So we got our two equations, right? So what we can do is we can do one thing. So we know the k is equal to negative 16 plus b, so we can substitute in this equation, right? So we can do 10 minus negative 16 plus b is equal to 16 plus b, right? So 10 plus 16 minus b, which is equal to 16 plus b. And so that would be 10, which is equal to 16 minus 16 plus b. So 10, which is equal to 2b, and b is equal to 5. So we figured out the value of 5 as well. And now what we can do, now this is very straightforward, right? So then you can just do k, which is equal to negative 16 plus 5, and k, which is equal to 5 minus 16, which is negative 11. And hence, we figured out all the three values, negative 12, 5, and negative 11, and hence we got the answer. And we're done with the paper. So I would like to thank you guys for watching the entire video. If you have if you have stayed through the entire video, I'm sure, like, just thank you so much. And although yes, it's my first video, I'll be uploading very soon. Uh, I'm I just hope I could give you guys the uh best knowledge from my side in order to help you get the best grades possible. So good luck on your upcoming exams, and I wish you all the best. Please subscribe to my channel, like and comment and share, and I'll see you guys for now. Thank you.